your girl Jay, and welcome to Daily Dose, a show where I talk about the hottest topics in K-pop. Where today, farewell Minzy, I barely knew ye. So, the K-pop world got a super duper shock when rumors started spreading that 2NE1's Minzy was looking for different agencies. YG then followed this up with a statement confirming that yes, she would be leaving 2NE1. So they actually released a long statement about this that I don't really feel like reading, so I'm just gonna highlight some points and summarize. Basically, in the statement, YG Entertainment confirmed that yes, Minzy would be leaving the group. They specifically stated that as their contracts do expire this May, they had face-to-face, interviews and discussions and meetings with them. And while the YG side of things did confirm that they did want to start 2NE1 back up again, Minzy was like, nah, B. Now, this was interesting because they said that they were understanding and they did admit that it was kind of messy how they just all of a sudden stopped activities 2 years ago. But it was like, and I don't know if I can say this was low-key shady, I'll explain later, but in this announcement, it was actually pretty surprising because they announced that while Minzy did leave and they won't be adding any new members, they are going to have a 2NE1 comeback this summer. So it was really shocking, and I feel like this has been a rumor that Minzy was fitting to leave like for a while now. I specifically remember the story about Minzy changing her Instagram and social media handles by removing the 2NE1 name. I remember reporting on that story when I first started this channel, so it's been a long time coming. But I guess it was just really shocking because while people joked about it, and people would joke about how like 2NE1 is basically disbanded because they haven't been active, I don't think anyone really thought that this was gonna happen, so it was really surprising. And I think it's sad because it comes on top of all, these 2009 girl groups, just like them all being on like this brink. Like you had FX, Sully left, a lot of the fate of 4 Minute I guess is up in the air. A lot of people think that they're gonna leave their company, and now you have 2NE1. Now they're going to continue on as a 3-member group, and it's just weird. Now I want to get a full story of a lot of statements that have been going around before I give my official opinion on what happened. So I guess a lot of people were just taking the announcement and news for what it was until Minzy's father decided to step up in the game, y'all. Minzy's dad posted a video of her with the caption, "Her passion is still overflowing." However, he decided to get shady up in the hashtags, as we all do, and in them he conveyed the statement, "If you're gonna act like that with the media play, then I'm gonna hold a press conference for the truth. I tried to leave it as a beautiful separation." Now, while, Minzy's father is out here, doing the most, I guess, I can understand. He's just trying to protect his daughter's image. After this, Minzy's looking for new agencies, but big companies, they tend to put a lot of money and things like that behind their trainees. And not only that, but Minzy leaving essentially kind of shook up 2NE1's legacy. I mean, they'll still be legendary, but there's a change. There's always going to be a change up in dynamics and just feel of a group when a member leaves. That's just how it's gonna be. No matter how great the members are who's still left behind, there's gonna be a change. So since Minzy leaving essentially shook up 2NE1 in a sense, I could see, I don't know, YG trying to get the upper hand in this situation. I mean, anyone can say that the separation was, fine and everyone wishes each other well, but we never know what's going on behind the scenes. So I can see if Minzy's dad senses that, YG might be doing something in terms of character building or character, destroying, or has something in the works that in the long run won't be good for Minzy's career after 2NE1 and after YG. Now, before I even read this statement from Minzy's dad, I kind of cocked my head a bit because even though it wasn't that badly put, and on top of that, I am reading a translation, so there might be, something lost in translation. Am I the only one who kind of found it shady that YG in the statement said that they expressed this huge desire to bring 2NE1 back together, but Minzy did not feel the same way. Even though, that's probably how it went down, I feel like they're trying to share the blame with Minzy when they shouldn't. If you go back and you really look at what went wrong with 2NE1, it was because they put them on hiatus for so long. Minzy wanting to leave was a consequence of that first terrible effect. And as much as they do say that they do take responsibility and they feel sorry, and in the statement they say they feel sorry rather than unsatisfied, I feel like it's still like they're putting the focal point on the fact that it was Minzy's decision to leave and not why Minzy wanted to leave. And that's actually another thing I want to get into, because I was really surprised to see that while there were a lot of people supporting Minzy and supporting 3NE1, sorry guys, I had to, come on. I saw that there was a number of people who apparently identify as black chicks who were literally hating on Minzy and saying, you know, she was nothing without 2NE1 and this is a mistake, and, you know, kind of just bashing her for leaving. And that kind of like really scares me, because there's this whole thing in K-pop and among K-pop stans where there's this debate whether K-pop fans really do care about these idols or they treat them like products just like the company. And you would think that, you know, if it's a fan base, they would treat them like, you know, people. However, I keep seeing time and time again that when a member breaks the illusion of a perfect group or like the legacy of a perfect group, they get all this crazy hate. And the only way I can equate it as is that you're mad because they're breaking the group as a product and you're not really concerned with, hey, why is this person wanting to leave? Because my whole thing is YG Entertainment is a top company, and like people would die, people are literally breaking their backs to get in. So if Minzy wanted to leave this company that supposedly can do anything for you, there had to be a good reason. You just don't leave the big three without a good reason, and I don't know why people don't understand that. So I think to try to demonize her is insane, because it's like, from the get-go, let me go back real quick. From the get-go, I feel like I felt like this thing with Minzy, and I feel this thing with all the 1994 lines just because we're the same age. So I'm like, yeah, you do you while I do me somewhere else. And I just felt like she was one of the most diligent workers. Like, she was good at dancing, she was good at singing, she could rap, she did everything she was, you know, expected of as a trainee. But I feel like in return, you know, 2NE1 as a group was successful, but I feel like the support for Minzy individually was never there. And I saw a lot of people comparing Minzy's situation during 2NE1's hiatus with, you know, what CL was doing, what Dara was doing. We know what happened to Bomb, so we know why she wasn't very active. A lot of people were saying that, you know, if Minzy was upset that she didn't get any work on 2NE1's hiatus, then that's her fault. She wasn't ambitious enough. Are you talking about the same girl who was out here making videos, dancing, doing what she could? If she couldn't come out with anything officially, that was because they weren't supporting her. And I think it's so interesting that people are saying, well, if she couldn't do anything or she wasn't active, it was her fault. Okay, so is it 2NE1's fault that they weren't active for those 2 years? Was it Winner's fault that they had some strange 1-year hiatus between their debut and their first comeback? Was it iKON's fault that it took them forever to come out? Like, I don't see why everyone is so quick to demonize Minzy. And I guess the only explanation I can come from is they're mad because now 2NE1 has a crack in their armor. Like, they're as great as they still are, in my opinion. A lot of people see that their legacy is kind of smeared with the fact that Minzy decided to leave, and it makes everyone look shady. And I mean, not my opinion, I don't think anyone's shady because everyone's just doing them. But I feel like it kind of makes everyone think that now 2NE1's gonna get attacked and hated on because Minzy decided to leave. But rather than that and being mad at her for that, I feel like we should really be looking into the issue and why she decided to leave. I don't know, it's just really crazy to see how quickly people turn on their supposed faves because of situations like this. And you know what, I feel like I'm just gonna support Minzy and whatever she does and support 3NE1 on whatever they do. So that's my opinion on the situation, but of course, guys, I always wanna ask what you think. Do you think Minzy was being selfish by leaving and she should have just sucked it up and stuck it out for this supposed summer comeback? Do you think the summer comeback would have been announced if she never decided to leave officially? And last but not least, how do you think 2NE1 will revamp their image for their new 3-member look? Let me know down below and see you next time on Daily Dose.